Wow, who would just leave a server like that standing here half inside the bushes? Did I place it here on purpose? Just to create a cool intro? Of course I wouldn't. Just like you. You would never watch this video without subscribing, right? Most people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, but a simple subscribe, like and comment would really help me grow this channel. Hey all and welcome to the channel. All jokes aside, this server I found at the city garbage disposal and was able to bring home with me. We are looking at the Dell PowerEdge T110 tower server, Model 2 to be exact. This server comes with an Intel i3-2100 processor, 8GB of DDR3 normal memory, not ECC memory, and the normal 305-watt power supply of this machine. Removing the plastic shrouds reveals the hardware underneath. As you can see here, we have 4 memory slots, of which 2 of them are occupied with sticks of 4GB DDR3 memory. Servers usually come with ECC memory, but as this server is using a normal 2nd Gen Intel Core i3 processor, the memory that it is using is just regular DDR3 memory. In my experience, even the most cost-friendly sticks of DDR3 already respond faster than ECC memory, which you can mainly notice during the loading of games, for example. The power supply of this server is a 305-watt 80+ bronze unit. This is nothing special, but works fine for this server. As these models weren't made to have graphics cards in them, it doesn't come with any additional connector for a GPU, meaning that if you want to use a bit more power-hungry GPU, you would have to use a converter cable for this. But since the PSU isn't that strong, don't expect that you can put an RTX 3060 in here or something. Also, we have 4 drive bays for additional drives in this server. You could use this server as a NAS home server, for example, as it also doesn't draw that much power. Something I always think is fun is when you find on old hardware like this, still the plastic protection film on logos and such. For me, this is always the first thing I remove when buying new hardware, but I guess it isn't for everyone. The server comes with a bit of dust. Not too much, but still worth quickly spraying it out with some compressed air to avoid dust blowing through my living room when I start testing it out. But now comes the question, can we game on it? Well, to be able to run any games, we will first need to place a GPU in here. For that reason, I'm placing the GTX 750 Ti in here, which doesn't need any additional power adapter, but is still able to play most games okay. Okay, now we can game. We will start by testing out Fortnite, which is an all-time favorite for me. This game ran quite smooth on 1920x1200 resolution, and all other settings set to low. This gave us an average FPS of 72, high FPS of 168, and low FPS of 36. Quite decent, although it looks like you're playing in a PowerPoint presentation sometimes. How sweet is it to get those exact drops when you are in an intense battle? Moving on to Counter-Strike Go, which we are again running at the resolution of 1920x1200, with all settings set to medium. Here we saw an average FPS of 70, with some spikes towards 147 and some lows of 43. Again, just like you can see in my other skills, no matter the hardware, I will stay a noob in this game. Well, at least it is not on video, right? Me losing all the time. Moving on to GTA 5, which somehow gave us a very solid around 40 FPS frame rate. This is on the resolution again of 1920x1200, and all settings set to medium, but it somehow stayed exactly around this frame rate. Worked great, but for sure not even close to the 60 FPS we are always aiming for, of course. But I would way rather have this FPS and work with it than have 200 FPS and drops down to 40, and then back up. And as the last game, we will play Splitgate. Here we saw an average frame rate of almost 60, then some high frame rates all the way in the 90s, and some lows down to 37. Not the worst, not the best, but for hardware not made for gaming, for sure a great achievement. While gaming, the temperatures of the server stayed quite okay as well. Even higher temperatures didn't make it loud. Could you use it as a desktop replacement? Yes, you could if you ask me. But if it has an Intel Core i3-2100 processor in it, then I would consider upgrading to an Intel Xeon E3-1280 processor, as this will give you 4 cores and 8 threads, which in performance is almost equal to an Intel Core i7-3770 processor. Hopefully you liked this video and don't forget subscribing. Catch you all on the next one.